Hi friends, it's Sandy with Sandy Cogdell Designs. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. I'm doing a video for the July Oh So Inspired Collaboration Hop hosted by Alicia, also known as Crafty Owl. This is where a group of us get together each month and use the same piece of inspiration to create something new. This month we were inspired by a card made by Verena S or at simple_stamper over on Instagram. I love the simplicity of this card from the layout to the soft colors. I will have Verna's card linked down below as well as our collaboration playlist so you can hop along with all of us today to see how we were inspired by Verna's card and make one of your own. For my card, I chose to use the circle shapes on the right side of the card. I did a little bit of different embellishment on my circles and a little bit of a different die cut. I really liked her sentiment, so I chose to use something inspirational also. Let's get started. For the background on this card, I decided I would ink blend some Distress Oxide. I'm going to start in that upper right hand corner. I'm going to use Salty Ocean as my first color, Mermaid Lagoon as my second color, and Chipped Sapphire as my darkest color in that bottom right hand corner. To add a little bit more dimension to this background, I'm going to spatter some water on it, and then I'm going to follow up with some thin down acrylic white paint and spatter that across the background also. I'm going to complete my third circle just by cutting out that last little piece of coral. When I line that up on the circle, I just want to make sure that the coral isn't going to cut through any of those borders or outside edges, I guess. For my little fish, I am using a die cut set from Trinity Stamps called Tiny Tropical Fish, and I've cut out a few different colors, and I'm just going to use the pieces from each one to decorate each little fish. Now, I have always found it easiest to put a little bit of double-sided adhesive on the back of my cardstock before I cut out these little teeny pieces. That way, all I have to do is pick up those pieces with my little pickup tool and place them where I want them on my other pieces. I also use a little glue where it makes sense, just to give me a little bit of a barrier so I can wiggle around that piece until it is in just the right spot. I'm going to go ahead and make 3 little fish to put on my circles. Next, I'm going to glue my die cut circles on that right hand side of the card. I had some little bits and pieces left over on my Teflon sheet that I had used on other cards, so I decided they would actually look kind of good in that bottom right hand corner, so I'll go ahead and add those to my card also. For the sentiment, I am using Trinity Stamps Simply Sentimental Faith stamp set along with the die set. I have stamped out the words "worry ends when" along with the word "begins" and cut those out. And then I have used the die to cut out the word faith. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue to glue on that faith word along with the other 2 little sentiment banners that I've got. Now, I always like to have a little bit of dimension on my cards, so I'm going to pop up these little fish. And I'm going to use a piece of foam or a little foam square. I will also add a little bit of liquid glue to the back of those squares, and that is not so much to make sure it adheres to the card, although that is helpful, but it also gives me a barrier so that I can kind of wiggle around that fish or that little piece until I get it exactly where I want it, and then I just let the glue dry. We're going to go ahead and get those 3 little fish put on this beautiful card. In addition to popping up little things for a little dimension on my card, I also like to have a little bit of bling on my card. So I am just going to add a few little rhinestones placed randomly around the front of that card just to give that card a little bit of sparkle. And to finish up this card, I'm just going to add it to a card base, and my card is complete, and I just absolutely love it. I think it's just beautiful. Again, I'm going to link Verena's card down below so you can check out her card as she posted it on Instagram. Make sure you also click on that playlist to see how all the other collaborators were inspired by her card. That's going to do it for me this month. We'll see you next month. Bye-bye.